Wilson Burns. That's me. 2 brains. One vagina.
Exclusively. 77 WABC.
Them it, girl. Bada bang bang.
Bada bang bang.
Girl. Dance with it, girl. Get with it, girl. Bada bang bang.
Yeah.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Friday night and I won't
That's what I'm saying.
Gotta do my hair, put my makeup on. It's Friday.
Bust the move, Sid. Bust the move.
I do like this song. Come on.
Hey, I got you, baby.
Come on.
I ain't got that.
You can tell we're in a good mood. It must be Friday here in the Big Apple. Welcome back to the Bernie and Sid show here on legendary 77 WABC. That was, you almost looked and sounded, and I hate using this word.
Don't say it.
Retarded.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
You just did, bro.
This is a great song, right?
It's a great song.
I have no idea what the hell she's
Either do
saying.
I, but my wife and my kids love this song, and so do I.
I think it was the song of the summer. Would you say? The song of August.
I would agree with that, yes. Yeah.
But still.
Good way to start a Friday, bro.
Yeah, man.
Doesn't even matter that it's raining and cold, 58 degrees. It's going to rain actually the next 2 or 3 days.
It's been a long couple of weeks, and it is Friday.
It will be nice out on Monday because it's a Jewish holiday.
It usually is, but it's not supposed to be. But it usually is.
You know,
right.
listen, that's not fair.
It's true, though. It's
Now
always
you're
good weather.
starting to bring me down. I was just up.
It is what it is, bro. We are the chosen
That's what you guys-
people. God loves us more than the Goyim. That's you, so just get over it.
But
even your God was Jewish anyway, so.
I mean, that's all fair. All well and good.
Bar
Whatever you
mitzvah,
said, I didn't
Woodmere,
even hear
Long
you.
Island. You heard me. Jesus was Jewish.
Yeah, but here's the point.
What?
You're taking off Monday,
I am.
and so is Jill. All of a sudden, you guys are like religious Jews.
My good half.
Come the holiday.
Here's how it works.
Noam Laden's taking off on Monday.
Here's how it works. Even the like the Reform,
You
there's
would
all
take-
kinds of levels of Jews, right? I mean, you see the Orthodox, they've got the hats, the payas, all that stuff. Even the Reform take off the first day of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Really, if we were good Jews, we take off Monday and Tuesday, the second day of Rosh Hashanah, but we're not doing that. So we're showing that we're just kind of half-assed Jews taking off the first day of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur the following week.
You know what? And of course, nobody would begrudge anybody to take off a religious holiday, even if you're not a very hardcore practicing religious Jew, whatever the hell it is.
What about David Duke? What about
Here's
Louis
the question.
Farrakhan? How would he feel about this?
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
Is then you guys take off Christmas.
Yes. Well, that's a national
In other
holiday.
words, you got one up on me.
No. That's your fault. Because that has gone from a religious holiday to a national holiday.
How come,
It has lost, other than you guys going to midnight mass, Christmas has lost all of the religious aspect
okay,
of
then
it.
let me rephrase my beef.
Yeah.
How come I get, say, I don't know, 8 designated holidays, and you get 9?
Because I'm Jewish. I'm the chosen people. God loves me more. I just said that to you.
Do you understand now my
You're
why
lucky.
I'm unhappy about it?
Get over it.
Why people are unhappy about it?
Stop. At least the Goyim, on their holidays, they get to drink and party and dance. We, like Yom Kippur, for example, you can't
please.
eat,
Oh,
can't
come
brush your
on.
teeth, can't have sex, can't do anything.
You're eating.
Yeah, but if it's cloudy, you count that as sundown. You get an early start in it. Okay, wrong.
Not really.
You're eating ham sandwiches and
Who?
listening to Cheap Thrills and dancing in your house.
Sid, are you really going to fast on Yom Kippur?
I do every year. And then I have a ham sandwich the next day.
I don't believe it.
Oh, 100%.
I'm taking off, but I'm. Oh no, I'm not because Norman Lear is going to be here.
As long as my dad is alive, I will continue to keep up with all the tradition.
Right. Well, mazel tov to all of you. I really don't care.
Why don't you take it off on Monday? I'm actually offended that you're not. I take off for your holidays, and you're going to work on mine.
You know, that's a good point.
I'm serious.
I'm going to complain to management.
Who are you working with on Monday? Lionel or something? Or?
Actually, believe it or not, it's I have a Muslim co-host coming in.
So funny. You are Mr. Khan?
Mohammed Combs.
You should get Mr. Khan. That would be a
Mohammed
great show.
Combs. Alan Combs is coming in.
And Alan's Jewish.
He's the worst Jew ever. He is the biggest self-hating, worthless Jew ever.
Wait a second. That's just that's a little harsh.
Really. Millions of years walking through the deserts. What we've been through to get 6 million exterminated in World War II. What we've been through to keep this religion going. And this ass clown who happened to love dearly Alan Combs is going to work on Rosh Hashanah?
I call him Stalin Combs. that works a little better. But yeah, he's going to work. He's going to be here. He's at least he's not a phoney.
Like Kubi's going to work.
He's not a Jew for a day. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of.
No, but that's not being a phony. That's the religion. Do you celebrate every religion?
Do you believe
every
in-
holiday in your religion?
Do you believe in God?
No.
Well, good. God doesn't believe in you. We'll call
All
it even.
right, so I rest my case. Let's move on. Yeah, we missed yesterday. We focused on the train crash in Hoboken, rightly so, and there's a lot of good stuff out there. Of course, one of them was Gary Johnson and the way he screwed up in a town hall meeting with Chris Matthews. He's sitting there with his buddy Wobbly William Weld, the former governor of Massachusetts, who. Well, he'll have a pop with you. Let me just put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
He'll have a pop with you. Anyway, Chris Matthews asked him a question. You may have heard this, but it's worth listening to again. It's amusing. Take a listen.
Who's your favorite foreign leader?
Who's my favorite?
Just name anywhere in the country, any one of the continents, any country. Name one foreign leader that you respect and look up to. Anybody.
Mine was Shimon Peres.
No, okay, I'm talking about living. Go ahead. You got to do this. Anywhere, any continent.
Peres.
Canada, Mexico, Europe,
Go
over
to the
there,
Jewish.
Asia,
So bad. You're
South
always
America,
safe.
Africa. Name a foreign leader that you respect.
I guess I'm having an Aleppo moment in the former president
But I'm giving
of
you the
Mexico.
whole world.
I know.
Anybody in the world you like. Anybody. Pick any leader.
Come on.
The former president
No.
of Mexico.
The former.
Which one?
I'm having a brain.
Jose.
I'm
Well,
having a
name
brain
anybody.
Fox, Zedillo.
Poncho.
This is the guy that Jesse Ventura wants to be president of the United States.
Speaking of that, Jesse Ventura, I had the argument with him, actually. It's one thing to legalize pot, which I agree should be done.
But don't encourage
It's
it.
another thing to advocate its use, especially to young people, because Gary Johnson is the poster boy for what I was saying. It really it takes you, it slows your mental step.
He's completely.
It really
burnt.
does.
He's completely burned. He's actually, believe it or not, you're not going to be able to say this. He actually may be dumber in this election than Donald Trump. Close, but he may be dumber.
Please, not even. Not
No, it's close.
No,
but Gary
okay,
Johnson's dumber.
He is not. He's not dumb. He's like you said. He's
Burnt.
fried. He's just slow. He's just stupid. And that's what pot does. That's what weed does. And that's why to encourage young kids who need every advantage they can get in this competitive world out there.
You're right.
I mean, you wait until you become an adult before you start sucking on bongs and whatnot, because that's what happens to you. That's your brain on drugs. Anyway, stupid William Weld, who's he doesn't smoke pot, but he does like I said, he likes to have a pop now and then. He mentions Angela Merkel. I mean, what a moron this guy is.
She did win the Time Magazine Person of the Year.
Of course, Time Magazine would give it to her. They're in
shocking.
lockstep.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Time Magazine is, and there is no Time Magazine. It's all online.
Right. And by the way, she is despised and hated in Germany more than I could think of any politician here.
You know, the history is she was very well respected.
Oh, they
before.
loved her.
She
Loved
was
her.
Leading an economically strong Germany, one of the strongest economies in Europe and the world, actually. And she was holding, in the EU, she was holding these fiscally irresponsible countries accountable, like Greece, et cetera, et cetera. She's well respected. Allows 1 million Syrian refugees to come in. 1 million.
Yeah.
And of course now they have a problem. They're calling them rape-fugees, and a bunch of terrorists snuck in with them, and it's just awful.
It's bad.
So William Weld, Angela Merkel, they asked Hillary Clinton the same question yesterday, and this is what she said.
I like a lot of the world leaders. One of my favorites is Angela Merkel, because I think she's been an extraordinary, strong leader during difficult times.
Doesn't matter.
In Europe.
I'm with you. I think it's horrible.
I mean,
Terrible.
Eva Braun was a freaking woman.
You're right. Yes, she was.
Just because she was a woman, that's the dumbest thing. I mean, with all due respect, a lot of people say that, I know. But the woman thing, forget that.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm with you. My good buddy Ben Weinthal, who writes for the Jerusalem Post, who joined me when I hosted for Imus a couple of weeks ago. He writes for the Jerusalem Post, but he lives in Berlin, in Germany. And he doesn't live far from one of the spots
Who is
where
a
these
world leader that you would
where these refugees were lined up, thousands in the streets. And he said to me, here's a guy that went through war-torn times in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. He was literally scared to walk out of his apartment in Germany because of the commotion and the people in the streets.
And here's how stupid, again, that Angela Merkel, making it even more dumb, because the French and the Belgium and the Swedes, they allowed Muslims to come in. That they were very beneficent. They're good-hearted souls. They allowed them to come in, also for labor, but also out of the goodness of their hearts, saying, okay, they'll assimilate and we'll do. And then they had these ghettos developed in the big cities, just what your friend was talking about. And but Merkel knew that when she allowed 1 million of the Syrian refugees to come in. Making her even doubly inexplicable or just plain stupid.
What makes you more angry then? Because we're about to take our first break of the day. 1-800-848-WABC, 1-800-848-9222 to talk to Bernie and I. No guest today, so you can call in whatever you want. What makes you more angry? The fact that Hillary Clinton and Weld were stupid enough, and I'll use the word stupid, to pick Merkel as their favorite world leader, or the fact that our guy Darrell Hammond got replaced starting tomorrow night. Alec Baldwin is the new Donald Trump
Can you believe
on
they
SNL.
did that to him?
And they said it because he's not famous enough. What is that?
That's ridiculous. They couldn't come up with a good explanation. He was the best. He was talented.
He was great.
He was, and here's the other flaw in picking Alec Baldwin. He's a polarizing figure. You know, like half the country hates his guts already.
Right.
He's a piece of garbage.
I hate him.
The way
he loves Hillary.
He treats women
Right,
like
but he loves
garbage.
Hillary.
His wife. I mean, come on. His daughter. Remember the answering machine message to his daughter?
Yeah, that. But he's a flaming. He makes Alan Combs sound like Barry Goldwater, for God's sake.
Well, he's a big liberal, yeah.
So
right.
in that sense, Darrell Hammond was sort of anonymous. You don't know where he is, what he's thinking, who he's for.
Right.
And he was good like that. But you watch Alec Baldwin, you know it's going to be tilted and tainted and slanted and all that crap.
Those guys actually, we even try to get at Frank Caliendo, he wouldn't do it. Those guys try to stay that way because they know if they're doing an impersonation, they don't want to be considered, one-sided.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin, you're right, doesn't get more one-sided than that.
It pisses us off. But by the way, if Darrell Hammond calls us again, tell him the show got canceled.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? You don't get
he's still one of the most talented
You can tell
guys.
Darrell Hammond this. FSNL,
Exactly.
he can be our Donald Trump any day of the week.
And we'll bring him up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good.
F those idiots. And they're not fun. They suck anyway.
I feel like Hillary maybe called SNL and was like, Trump may be winning. Can you please have someone mock him?
Trump's not winning, but she does have the power to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
She does.
And
Well, Alec Baldwin has been on SNL, hosted it more times, I think, than anybody else.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lauren's
he has
a big-
connections to Lorne Michaels.
Right.
But they're just shooting themselves in the foot. It's a horrible decision. So, yeah, I'm pissed off. 1-800-848-9222.
Punch him in the face.
Punch him in the right and kick him in the, back after this.
77 WABC.
This is Darrell Hammond doing Al Sharpton. Clearly, we're on WABC, and clearly, it's a great show. You're listening to Bernie and Sid Clearly.
Who is a world leader that you admire, respect, would like to emulate, and why?
Well, I think Merkel is a really great world leader, but I was very disappointed that when this move with the whole thing on immigration, I think it's a big problem.
Back on Bernie and Sid on 77 WABC on no Friday is gloomy, really. I mean, the weather it sucks. Last day of September. And it's cold, it's rainy, it's windy, but it's Friday.
So it doesn't matter.
No, we're in a good mood. So anyway, there was Donald Trump and qualifying his Merkel comments with the Syrian refugee problem that essentially was caused by Obama and Hillary's policies, I would say.
Yeah. Still, shame that's still not going to thwart her presidential campaign.
So Donald Trump this morning, 4:30 in the morning, he's up and he's tweeting.
Yeah.
And it's all over the place. I mean, the media has, ever since Monday night, at the end of that debate, when Hillary brought up the former Miss Universe, the fact that he made her lose weight because, she was contractually obligated to not gain weight. And anyway, they've obsessed over it. So he finally apparently decided to defend himself.
Listen, you keep saying the media obsesses over it. That's fine. We know that already. 4 days later, with him losing New Hampshire this week, losing Michigan this week, losing Florida this week, and a story about him possibly doing business or trying to do business with Fidel Castro, the last thing Donald Trump should be doing 4 days later, no matter what the media is doing, is tweeting about this lady this morning. He's a moron. I'm telling you, he is trying to throw this thing because you can talk to your blue in the face defending himself. There's no way this guy should be talking about this morning. Let it go.
There actually is a difference of opinion amongst his advisors.
He's fighting with his aides because they know he sucked on Monday night. They want him to get back on the important topics.
Newt Gingrich is of that opinion, whereas Rudy Giuliani, he says, hey, you got to go after her on.
Giuliani's a complete butt sniffer, man. No matter what Trump does, he loves it.
But listen, the fact is, she did bring this thing up, and in the media is constantly harping on it. Every time you turn on CNN or the mainstream media, you just see something about Trump and Alicia Machado still.
Yeah, but the people know that this Machado may have been involved in a murder. They know all of her horrible things going on in and around her. So they can talk about it all they want on CNN, MSNBC. That doesn't mean that he has to everything that goes on, he doesn't have to address. It doesn't always help him.
He can put out a tweet defending himself and then move on to other things. I think he can multitask, but that's what he's doing now. So
3 or 4 tweets was not one tweet. It was a bunch. He looks like a raging maniac at 5 o'clock in the morning. 4 days later, this thing is still bothering him after the bad week he's had politically.
And by the way, you had Megyn Kelly. I think it was last night. She was like, "Why don't they just shut up about women's weight?" Said the rail thin, attractive news anchor.
Easy for her to say.
Yeah, the cute blonde, rail thin news anchor on Fox News, and also George Stephanopoulos on Good Morning America a couple of years ago when Governor Christie was running.
Yeah,
he filed a report about Christie and made some talk about fat shaming. Take a listen.
Former White House physician Connie Mariano, who helped President Clinton lose 30 pounds in office, says she cringed when she saw Christie eating that donut and that she's worried about him dying on the job.
He will, and he knows it too. If he wants to run, he's going to have to lose some real weight.
Yeah, he's going to have to lay off the donuts.
Oh, my God. But oh, my God, they were fat-shaming Governor Christie. But what
it's a guy. You're allowed. You're allowed.
Do you see the hypocrisy, y'all?
Yeah, but it exists. So just get used to it.
It's out there. Well, it's worth calling out. In fact, it merits calling out.
Sure. That's going to help Trump a ton today. Those tweets are
a ton.
Really,
see what he did there?
Yeah, a ton. See what I did?
Yeah.
By the way,
hypocrisy and dishonesty in the media. I believe the people out there, there's going to be a backlash to it. I think people see through it and are pissed off about it and buy it. And that's going to be,
if I was Donald
reflected
Trump,
at the voting
I
booth.
would lock myself in a room. I wouldn't tweet. I wouldn't even talk to anybody. I wouldn't go visit any of the states that he's losing. 3 of them, by the way, in the last week. I would lock myself in a room with somebody capable, not Kellyanne Conway or Bannon or the rest of these people who's got in and around him, and figure out a way to come out on October 9th and do a much better job than last Monday.
I believe,
or he's done.
I believe he will do that, and he owes it to people like me to do that. 1-800-848-9222. Bernie
and Sid on demand.
You never know what's going to happen.
The WABC radio app. Download it now. Upload the BS. 77 WABC.
You know, I have my past. Of course, everybody has. Everybody have a past. And I'm not a saint girl, but that is not the point now.
Back on Bernie and Sid on 77 WABC. That was the great Alicia Machado.
That's the most unbelievable response I've ever heard.
Former Miss Universe. I'm not a saint girl.
That was in response to Anderson Cooper asking her about the allegations that she drove the getaway car back in Venezuela back in 1998 for her ex-boyfriend after he committed murder, which of course would make her an accomplice to a murder. And that was her quote. I'm not a saint.
That and the sex tapes that are out there. I mean, and Hillary Clinton's going to make her the poster girl for feminism.
We have a picture of you two yesterday doing your show prep, watching Alicia Machado's porn video on our Facebook page. It's very funny.
And it's on Twitter too. What Bernie had said.
That was good.
It's
stuff.
A good film. She's very good.
Let me just say this: if this is Hillary,
you guys couldn't take your eyes off of it.
Look, you couldn't either.
I know, it was pretty hot.
It was good. So look, if Hillary Clinton can't vet one chick from Venezuela who has with this criminal, sketchy, raunchy past, how is she going to vet the 550,000 Syrian refugees she wants to let in here? And by the way, shouldn't we spend that money that we're going to spend on the Syrian refugees? Shouldn't we spend it on, say, rebuilding Flint, Michigan's water pipes?
Right.
Or maybe the homeless veterans are out in the street killing themselves and can't get health care?
You know how else we can do that too?
How's that?
If Donald Trump paid his taxes, we could take some of that money too and fix the infrastructure, help the veterans, instead of him keeping all of his money for himself and his cute kids.
Well, let's say he increases tax revenue by helping business out in this country. Can we use the money for that also?
Sure.
Because she's not going to do it. She has no plan for that. In fact, she has no plan for anything, which is why she just attacks Donald Trump.
Right. That's not true. I watch the debate. She has plans for everything. She details stuff. He has no plans. All he does is attack her.
Why doesn't
Crooked Hillary. You may not like what she has to say, but she has plans.
Why doesn't she talk about her plans?
She did all month. Did you not watch Monday night?
Yes, I did.
She detailed he had zero details. Zero. He had 3 words: Chicago, 4,000.
Because all she did was attack him.
No, that's not true.
And he responded. He talked about trade.
That's not true.
In fact, the consensus.
He said nothing about trade. He attacked her for TPP. That's all he did. And she said, "Listen, we do have to trade with these countries. I don't like TPP." Well, you don't like it because I don't like it. Are you serious, Donald Trump? I mean, really? You don't like it because I don't like it?
The consensus, of course, is that he won the first half hour of the debate, and then it went downhill because she attacked him personally, and he was distracted by the shiny object of the attack.
That's like winning the first quarter of a football game, but unfortunately it's 60 minutes. But listen, I agree with you. The fact that he used these words, and he's right, Donald Trump, that she's making her the, quote, paragon of virtue, he's right, and you're right. And listen, I killed Hillary Clinton, killed her from making Michael Brown's mother, bringing her up on stage and making Michael Brown the face of police brutality. So you're not wrong here. Donald Trump's not wrong here. She does do these things. It is nauseating, but is that enough for him to win? Or eventually, does he have to say something that he can do without pointing out what she does wrong?
Let us go to Pikey from New Jersey. Pikey, first of all, Pikey.
Sid, how we doing this morning, Sid?
What kind of name is Pikey?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a great name my mother gave me because when I was born, my father named me George.
Okay.
And my mother was still under anesthesia, and when she woke up the next morning, she almost passed out to think that I was George the VIII.
That's funny.
But she specifically told my father not to do that. But anyway.
All right, I'm sorry I asked. And why did you call Pikey?
Oh yeah, listen. The reason why I called is because you guys are totally right. What Hillary did to the Middle East and made a shambles of, now she's trying to do here. And even though Donald Trump's not the best choice, in this particular case, he is the best choice. Now, this country is definitely ready for a woman president. We're just not ready for her.
Absolutely. But a woman president would be fantastic, but
exactly,
not this crooked liar who rode her husband's coattails. Unlike, say, Jill Stein, who is a very impressive individual woman, I would say.
Right. And here again, I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I mean, 40 years ago, he was sued for some kind of lawsuit. Why are we bringing up the 70s and the 90s?
Well, listen, that's how it works.
I already addressed that because
both of them bring up old things. He brings up a ton of old stuff with Bill Clinton too. It's not they don't have anything else. Both campaigns are guilty of finding dirt, which is what always happens with candidates. This is nothing new. Nothing new.
Well, the reason why she brings it up is because she really doesn't have anything to run on. It serves her purposes better to attack Donald Trump.
That is your opinion.
And then,
he has said nothing in 19 months but insult and attack everybody. But ironically, you're talking about her attacking him. He's done nothing but do that.
His strategy was not to go back to the 90s, was to stay away from it. He was instructed to, and he adhered to that advice. I think to a fault. I mean, and he wrongly. I think he should have went there. Once she went back to the 90s with this Miss Universe thing,
I agree with you.
He should have hit her back right with that. Well, in 1997, while I was, telling a Miss Universe a contestant winner that she was overweight, your husband was putting a cigar in an intern's private parts in the Oval Office. Right. That's what he should have said. Stephen.
I agree with you. And for people that keep asking the question, I don't know why they keep asking it, is it fair game for Donald Trump, who I want to lose, remember, is it fair game for Donald Trump to bring all of that up? And the answer is undoubtedly yes.
Absolutely. I mean, look, you have to. I mean, are you a street fighter or not? But some people say, it'll hurt the women's vote. But if you educate people.
He's already getting killed with the women anyway. Don't worry about it.
About what not only Bill Clinton did, but what Hillary did to his victims. If people knew that, I think they'd have a different opinion of them. And it happened a long time ago. A lot of people are unaware of it. But Stephen from Juno Beach, you're on with Bernie and Sid on WABC. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning and God bless.
That's what I'm saying, lad. Jesus, you two-legged pimple. You come on ahead now. Move along. What the hell you want?
Okay. Well, I hate to agree with Sid because he is probably the dumbest person I've ever seen in my life.
You've never seen me, moron. Let's start with this. You've never seen me. Maybe you want to rephrase that and go, he's probably the dumbest person I've ever listened to, Steve.
No.
Maybe
Sid,
saw you.
I've seen you. Listen, I've seen you face down in a curb in Miami Beach before.
Hang up on that. That's it. Goodbye. Thank you. That's not even funny. That's not even funny.
Yeah.
Jeff from, it says here, Largemont. Largemont? Where's Largemont?
Did I misspell it?
Yeah. But what were you trying to say? I have a feeling were you trying to say Largemont?
LARCHMONT.
So Florida, don't take this the wrong way, but when they tell us that the white educated vote is for Hillary Clinton,
yeah,
it is obvious that's the case.
Wait, did you just diss me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, you can't slip nothing past old Flirty Flipper. Yes, he just dissed you.
I still love you.
You nailed it. Largemont.
I thought it was Largemont.
Jeff from Largemont, as Chris says.
Okay.
And with Chris, it would be Largemont.
You're fat shaming. That's not nice.
Oh, I have no shame, so I'm not in.
Oh, boy.
Wow, Jeff, I'm sorry about that. Jeff, you're on with Bernie and Sid on WABC. Good morning.
Right. Good morning. Bear with me. I have ALS, so I can't talk that well.
That's okay. Neither can we.
But Mr. Trump needs to use Hillary's own words, which are, what does it matter now?
What difference does it make, in other words? He should use those.
And then go back and say, let's talk about the real issues like Benghazi. What does that matter now?
Yes.
What does this fat, Alicia lady matter now?
Alicia Machado. He's right.
You're right about that, Jeff. Absolutely. Use her words. Talk about her demonizing cops. Talk about her wanting to let in an unprecedented number of refugees that we can't afford, et cetera, et cetera. And thank you, Jeff, for the call.
See, we're on the same page with that. I agree with you that he should do that. I don't think it's going to help him. I don't think he's going to win. And I think he's got to be careful not to get too into the gutter. I agree with Newt Gingrich because that could backfire on him. But I do think he should be a heck of a lot more aggressive than he was on Monday night.
Charles from New Jersey, you're on with Bernie and Sid. Good morning, Charles.
Yes, hey, good morning, fellas, and thanks for taking my call.
Sure thing.
One of the issues, I have to tell you, I'm very disappointed in the broad media criticizing Donald Trump for basically defending himself and then using the strategy that he's insane for wanting to defend himself. It's a total in the can for Hillary Clinton. And Sid, you've got to realize that you're just another, manipulated media mind that's trying to, stop somebody from basically...
Charles, I'm the furthest thing from that. I think it's a stupid... He can do it. He's allowed to do it. I think 4 days after the debate, when he's having a bad week, he's been to 3 states that he's losing, Michigan, New Hampshire, and Florida. He just got murdered in the debate. I don't think 4 days later to run a maniacal tweet campaign at 5 o'clock in the morning helps the guy. It's nothing to do with Hillary or the media. He's got people in his own camp, Charles, that are saying the same thing. So it's very easy for you guys to attack Sid every day on this show. His own people are telling him the same thing. I don't think it's a very good strategy.
At the end of the turn, they're saying that he can't defend himself and that he shouldn't bring up anything that she said from the same period of time that he made these comments about Miss America.
I'm not saying that. I think he should. I think he should.
Right there, you have the media trying to, portray somebody as being off the rails and out of control. And quite frankly, it's not fair. And
Charles, don't include me because I'm the guy saying that he should go after Hillary Clinton. I still think tweeting this morning is a stupid strategy, but I've been very obvious.
I think you're contradicting yourself when you say he should go after Hillary. And
Monday night,
okay,
not 5 days later when he's already gotten his ass kicked.
But 5 days later, after 5 days of media bashing, he's trying to defend himself. And you say maniacal tweeting? I mean, he put out.
Yes.
This is the maniacal tweet. Did Crooked Hillary help disgusting?
Yes.
Check out sex tape and pass Alicia M.
That's maniacal.
U.S. citizen, so she could use
waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning out of your sleep to start tweeting because you're angry 4 days later because you know you got your ass kicked and you're basically a sore loser. That is my definition of maniacal.
Well, my definition is not so. The man is an early. You know, the early bird gets the worm.
Okay.
I mean, he's up early. He's got a good work ethic. So he doesn't sleep till 10 o'clock and disappear from the campaign trail for 2 days.
Bernard, if you're okay with it, that's your opinion. I think it's a stupid strategy. He's going to lose this election. We'll go back and detail all the things he did right and all the things he did wrong. And I will point out that these things like this, what Donald Trump did today, are the exact things, and people in his own camp agree, that derail him from what he should be talking about.
It does detract him from talking about substantive issues that she's flawed on. It does, but he does still have to defend himself.
No, he doesn't.
Just one big pussy.
No, he doesn't.
1-800-848-9222. Bernie and Sid back after this.
There he sits inside your local coffee shop, sporting a main bun and facial hair. Somehow he believes, although he has no job, that by his 30s he will be a millionaire. M-I-L-L-E-N-N-I-A. Gotta love millennials. M-I-L-L-E-N-N-I-A. Gotta love millennials. She posts lots of selfies on.
Gotta love millennials. I guess you do, right? That's how we start hour number 2 of the Bernie and Sid show here on 77 WABC. Curtis and Kubi come your way in about 50 minutes. Gotta love millennials, and why is that, Bernard?
By the way, that guy's name is Micah Taylor. It's got 2.5 million hits on YouTube. It's hilarious. You should check it out. And why do you have to love millennials?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, like anything else or any other group, you can't lump everybody into that category that they're a bunch of losers, self-deluded, Instagram, stay at home, live in your parents' basement type of people. They're not all like that.
Not all. And they're not all voting for Hillary or Bernie Sanders before.
No. But most of them, I guess, fit into that classification.
Yeah.
However, for example, last night on O'Reilly, we were talking about a specific college, University of Michigan.
Great school. My sister went there.
It is a good school. I know people that went there as well. Very impressive young people.
Gorgeous campus. Ann Arbor, Michigan is one of the prettiest places in the country.
But sadly, as is the case on a lot of campuses across the nation, in academia in general, the inmates are running the asylum. The administrations are acquiescing to these idiotic, as I called them last night on O'Reilly, these little hypersensitive, thumb-sucking, spoiled, pampered little snowflakes.
Well, we have the cut. You want to just play the cut?
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
College campuses used to be fun places, right? They used to be joyful places. Now they're like indoctrination camps. Mm-hmm. I mean, with these angry, thumb-sucking crybabies looking to be victims, looking to be offended by somebody, and they're turning into language cops, shoving all this down people's throats. It often bleeds into the society at large is what happens.
Well, it won't bleed into this society at large.
I don't think it's gone far enough. If you look at vehicles, why are vehicles all feminine pronouns? Like ships and planes are called she's. What if a boat feels like a he? What if he's or a Z? Yeah. How can we do that? I don't think we should be calling boats and planes she's.
Like a bunch of bedwetting losers we're becoming. The Russians and the ISIS are going to be laughing at us, and also the Canadians and the Swiss if we go on this course. It's getting really bad. So what we were talking about, of course, is which I didn't explain earlier. They have issued this directive that students can tell their teachers what pronoun they want to be identified by or with.
He, she, or Z.
He, she, or Z, or something called HIR. It's pronounced here. So it makes no sense. It's so ridiculous.
Which one is that one for?
They're both Z and here are the same. It's the same thing. It is very confusing. But in other words, if you're gender neutral and you don't want to be referred to as he or as she,
right?
You want to be referred to as Z. And you put that down on a piece of paper, and you tell your professor. And if your professor does not do what you requested, he gets charged with a hate crime or something.
Nice.
Or gets
Wow.
Gets docked, a month's pay. I don't know what the hell. But they're doing it on this campus, University of Michigan, University of Wisconsin, Oregon, and a lot of places all across the country that have these safe spaces. I saw at Hofstra when we were out at Hofstra on Monday.
Yeah.
I saw signs that were labeled trigger warning.
Yeah.
Trigger warning. If beyond this point, if you come beyond this point, you might find this event offensive. So you might. It's unbelievable what's happening.
Sickening.
And again, like I said, college campus used to be a fun type of place. You go there, you party, you hook up with a girl, you do your work, and everybody was happy.
It's still kind of like
But
that.
now you have these. Remember we interviewed those kids? You have these students rampaging across the campus, just looking to be pissed off about something.
I don't know. I think that's been around forever. Kids on college campuses pissed off about something. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree, but I think you're exaggerating it just a bit. I think college is still fun. I think these universities are still great. I think kids still are able to rail and scream and yell. But I do agree that labeling kids with different pronouns is a bit excessive and actually silly.
It's really, and also, don't get me started with the studies. 1-800-848-9222. I mean, you have these ridiculous studies that people take, like a Polish heritage studies or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Gender studies. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Spend $50,000 a year to send your kid to college.
You got
the kid's taking Polish heritage,
Afro-Hungarian, and then they graduate and they wonder
they
why
can't get a job.
Can't get a damn job. It's right. It's such a scam college. So anyway, these kids are sheltered too, and then they come out. They're sucking their thumb. They're in their safe space, and they come out to the world here. Nobody's going to address you as Z.
No,
you're going to come out in the world, and you want to be. You're going to be. Who's going to hire you first of all? If you're you got red hair,
the onion.
I mean green hair,
the onion,
and your hair is shaved on the.
All over the village, they got spots for kids like that.
You got nose rings, and they're not going to hire. We did see those kids. Remember we interviewed those kids at Hofstra?
They were all rough looking, every one of them,
and they were all pissed off. An agenda and a chip on it, and they're never going to go anywhere.
I agree.
So this is what we have.
It really wasn't a very positive bunch, was it?
No, not at all. And again, you have that mentality. All of this originates, in my opinion, in academia, on college campuses, and it does, as I said last night, it bleeds into the popular culture. These stupid things you have now with these gender-neutral bathrooms, that I'm sure started in academia and college campuses. And again, the stupid the curriculum that they teach in a lot of cases just
unreal,
just nuts. And we also talked last night about that deer attacking.
Yes. The lady hit the deer, and then what happened? She got out of the car to see the deer was okay, and the deer attacked her.
I think she actually stopped the car maybe just to check on her car.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she got out to check on the deer. But
have you ever hit a deer yourself?
No, I have not.
I got to tell you, one of the scariest moments of my life. My dad would always get a Cadillac. Always had a Cadillac. He actually switched to Lincolns later on in life, but always had a Cadillac. And we've got a house in upstate New York. In fact, we're going this Sunday to celebrate Rosh Hashanah together. We've gone to the mountains for, 30 years. So, and of course, deer up there it's all over the place. Oftentimes you'll drive, as you know, Bernard, on Route 17 or the thruway,
the quick way,
and you'll see dead deer on the side of the road.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Make a long story short,
it's a menace.
Me and my little sister Elizabeth back seat of the car. I'm a young kid, and boom. Right in the middle, we're driving, there's nothing in the road, boom, and I distinctly remember the red eyes in the dark, in the night, the little red eyes of the deer. We must have dragged this deer, I don't know how far, ripped my father's Cadillac into shreds. I mean, it destroyed the front of the car. And then I remember, my dad finally stopping the car and this deer kind of limping off to the side of the road. It was one of the scariest things I've seen.
It's so sad,
ever.
It's a real danger. Obviously, you could die. You go through the windshield or whatever the hell. But yes, so last night, I guess I don't know. We were going to talk about it, but O'Reilly comes out and he says, "Look, this is a sad story." I was ready to do jokes. I was said to him, you could get a book out of this called Killing Bambi. and then I was going to say, but he came out so somber. I did say the killing Bambi.
About the deer?
He said, yeah, this is sad. The deer actually died, and there's nothing funny. But I was going to say that I was going to say myself, this is actually a sad story. That looked like a nice car.
Bernie.
You want a sad story?
I couldn't say it. I mean, it was,
you want a sad story?
It is sad.
A very sad story.
Tell me.
One of the all-time greatest Americans is close to death. And we've all enjoyed his work. You and I specifically. Not so much anymore, but certainly as youngsters.
I should have said, no, I don't want a sad story, but if I was being honest, but now you know, I hate to hear it.
I piqued your interest, haven't I?
I hate to hear it.
Give a hint.
Is this something funny or?
No, it's not funny. Not funny at all.
Was there a deer involved?
No. If, in fact, when this guy passes away, a huge slice of Americana will be gone.
Kanye West?
Exactly right. He's close to death.
Oh, my God.
No, that'll be a celebration. I'll give you a hint.
I can't go on.
I'll give you a hint.
Oh.
He just sold his mansion for $100 million.
I know what it is.
It ain't
My
Elvis.
hero.
Can I guess?
No, you can't. You already said Largemont today. You're out.
Well, somebody has to guess.
You don't have a. He just sold his mansion for $100 million.
Are you kidding me?
I'll give you one more.
Are there pajamas involved with a celebrity?
I'll give you one more guess.
Go ahead.
Barbie Benton.
Barbie Benton. I don't know.
All right, go ahead, Flirty.
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner is close to death.
Oh.
Yeah, he's down to 90
I mean, you could have
pounds.
given me a better, he wears a robe or he smokes a pipe.
What I just tell you, he's Mr. Playboy.
What were the names of the sisters that...
the three of them? Well, one of them is the one who was with Hank Baskett. She's got her own show.
No, there were two sisters. There were two brunette.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Girls Next Door, the TV show. The two sisters?
Anyway, Hugh Hefner's near death?
Yes. He's down to 90 pounds, does not leave his house.
But can he still get a boner? That's the question.
I don't think he can even do that anymore. And he did for the longest time because he had the Girls Next Door. He's with all three of them.
When he passes away,
that's huge.
Rigor mortis sets in. It'll get stiff.
It'll get hard again.
One last time.
That's a very good point.
1-800-848-9222. Bernie and Sid back after this.
77 WABC Traffic.
Your boy Mike Breen, so happy right now.
You know that's just one of his favorite songs.
Nobody loves Jethro Tull more than Mike Breen. Anyway, back on the Bernie and Sid show. Curtis and Kubi coming your way in about 32 minutes. 1-800-848-WABC. 1-800-848-9222. We'll spend the rest of the time on the phones with you guys. Here's Lewis. Lewis is in Queens this morning. Good morning, Lou.
Did you know that Imus was at the Bunny Ranch probably about 25 years ago?
Who? You say Imus was there?
Yes, I mean, and
the Bunny Ranch or the Playboy Mansion?
The mansion, actually. Okay.
Imus was never at the Bunny Ranch. Come on, Lewis.
Well, okay. I was with Mr. Hefner since he had his club on 59th Street. Did you ever go to that over there in Columbus Circle?
No, Lewis. No.
Why not? I don't understand. But let me tell you something. I was supposed to go, and he didn't go because Imus was there, and they weren't. So Imus decided he didn't want to go in. They let Howard Stern in, but then they told him he couldn't.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Jesus that was a big deal, that club, though, like the little Playboy things, and people had their own lockers. And remember the Playboy Club in Manhattan?
I don't remember it. No.
Really?
No.
That was a big deal. Big deal.
I remember Plato's Retreat.
And Plato's Repeat down in Florida, but Plato's Retreat, yes.
Let's go to Bobby from Pennsylvania. Bobby, you're on with Bernie and Sid. Good morning.
Yeah, you know why Sid never went to the Playboy Mansion? Because he's not a man. I called for something else, and I was on hold while Sid told that deplorable story about hitting a deer in a Cadillac.
I didn't hit the deer. My dad did. I was a little kid, but it did traumatize me.
It was one of the scariest moments of my life. I'll never forget the red eye of this deer. Like, what did your father hit? The Terminator?
Why is everybody so pissed off? What is going on?
Bobby, you call, Bobby, hey, Bobby, you call all the time picking on me like you're a real tough guy over the phone. What is your point, moron? What's your point?
It doesn't pay 10 cash.
What? What? You're a coward. You're a call-in coward. All you guys that call in to break my chops, you're calling cowards. Who's next?
Look, you're out in Pennsylvania. You're pissed off. I'm going to call Bernie and Sid and
I'm going to call Sid.
And start a fight. What is the point of that?
Because I love Donald Trump, and Sid is critical of Donald Trump, even though I also say that I hate Hillary Clinton. So let me call and rank on Sid, because I can make a phone call and hang up. Well, 9/10 of you would never say half the stuff you say on the radio to my face, ever.
Michael from...
Because I'd knock you out.
New York City. You're on with Bernie. You're on with the badass Sid and Bernie right here. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Sid, hey, listen, I'm not going to knock you for changing your opinion about Trump, even though I like Trump, because you see that you got some new information and change your mind, which also implies that you probably are pretty educated. So let me tell you why you're wrong on trigger spaces, safe spaces, and trigger words.
Okay.
The whole entire Maoist revolution began on Chinese college campuses in the exact same way, with trigger words and safe spaces 100 years ago. If you look it up, that's how they began, breaking down society.
So stop right there for a second, Michael. So you're saying that I'm right, a lot of these social movements begin in academia and on campus, as I said earlier. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, but it's more serious than that.
How old are you, by the way, Michael? Are you a young college guy?
No, I'm 43.
Okay, go ahead.
But I was going to say, you have people like Ayan Hirsi Ali, who is a woman, an immigrant. She's black. She's a victim of genital mutilation.
And they won't let us speak on college campuses.
She's a Muslim who's now an atheist. She actually checks almost every single box of who should be with these leftist progressives on college campuses. Yet, because she's saying, I don't agree that Sharia law should be anywhere near this country because it involves gay people being thrown off roofs and women being mutilated in their genitals, and you're seeing Sharia courts now in places
they won't let us speak. Cut to the chase.
So your point to me basically is that, because what I said was college is still great and the kids still love it. What you're saying is, Sid, don't minimize what Bernard is talking about. It's a really, really important and big issue.
Yeah, and but way more significant than people even realize. People think, oh, these kids are so wacky nowadays. This isn't. This is all orchestrated. It's, if you read Rules for Radicals and go into Saul Alinsky and all this, this is a part of how you tear down a society and how you get people to let go of things that have traditionally been a part of their lives for hundreds of years, because until you can make the people dependent upon the state, the only way you do that is by tearing down the institutions which they are dependent on, family, all these things. And when you have words that are so traumatic that kids are having nervous breakdowns, that they're attacking other kids, I mean, that's so beyond significant. People don't even really understand the depth of what's happening.
The tension on college campuses, from what I understand, you can cut it with a knife because of these angry little cry bullies out there. And also, Condoleezza Rice was barred from talking at Rutgers. She's a black woman, first black female Secretary of State. And because she voted for the Iraq War, she worked for George Bush. They wouldn't let her speak. Yet Hillary Clinton, they invite her everywhere. She voted for the Iraq War.
I can tell you this: my sister's got 3 boys. One goes to college in Rochester. One goes to Michigan. My nephew Jacob. One goes to Wesleyan. All my nephews and nieces all just graduated Binghamton over the last 10 years. None of them came back and said, "Man, college really sucked. It's really tense on campus. We've got this space and that space." Every one of them in the real world right now in the working place would love to go back. So I haven't gone to college in a long time, but these are all my family members.
Mazel tov to your lucky relatives there, but a lot of this is real out there, and there's a lot of anti-Semitism going on.
Well, that's here in the CUNY system
as
well.
In New York City, it's countrywide, nationwide. 1-800-848-9222. Bernie and Sid back in.
But to me, both candidates suck. Yeah, they both suck. And I want another Obama. Can we get Obama?
Do you think there's a better option between Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump?
I mean, I still think that, it's a better option for sure.
Don't let
the option is make sure you get your ass up and go to work in the morning, no matter who's the president. That's the option. So focus on yourself. It don't even matter which one of them motherfuckers.
Maybe sometimes.
There you go. Astute political analysis from the great Ice Cube.
He's right on the money. They both suck. He's right. They both suck.
But you know what? His advice is really, really good, which is don't worry about it. Don't let it affect you. No. Either way, get your ass up out of bed.
Go to work.
Take the chip off your shoulder and go to work. That's all there is to it. In this country, if you do that, instead of whining and complaining and feeling like a victim, you'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
You know, it's not. It's a tough world out there, but get your ass up out of bed and go to work.
I got to ask you one thing about this. We'll get to the phones in a second. This Hoboken incident yesterday. I know when a plane crashes, for example, they always want to find the black box. Why is that? Because the plane crashed and the pilot's dead. So the only talking anybody can do at that point is what they heard on the plane before the crash, the black box. Why are they making such a huge deal just now that they found the event recorder on that train when, in fact, the engineer, 48-year-old Tommy Gallagher, is alive? Why can't they just talk to Tommy Gallagher and find out what happened?
Well, in case he's lying, this would black box is objective. Okay.
I had a question. If the black box is always the only thing to survive on an airplane, why don't they make the whole plane out of a black box material?
George Carlin over there? Or?
That's actually a pretty good question.
Why did he say that?
Yeah. So, well, somebody has said it, but that's a valid observation and a stupid one.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Miss Largemont.
Oh, that's a fair point. So he may be lying, or if they don't, that kind of tells what he may or may not tell.
I mean, I don't know, but that's the black boxes don't lie.
Right. Aren't you a little surprised that this thing is now like 30 hours old and we've got nothing?
Well, we know it's an accident. You know, something went wrong. They didn't have that TCP thing or whatever the hell. I don't know. Let them figure it out. I like the fact that Governor Christie lost his temper yesterday.
Yeah, he did get pissed. Got pissed.
In fact, cut one. Let me introduce it. Governor Christie was taking questions at the joint press conference with the soon-to-be indicted Governor Cuomo, and he responded to a reporter by saying this.
Again, I heard what. No, listen. You speak English. I speak English. I heard what you said. Now you let me answer, and that's the way the system works.
No, I mean,
sit down, shut up.
We have an incident where somebody just died, and a tragedy occurred. It was and he's getting
pissed off.
What
hungry.
It's his state. By the way, the lady who died, God rest her soul, it's always like the worst possible. She's only here for 1 year. She just dropped off her 1-year-old Julia at daycare.
Terrible.
She was going to look for a new apartment for the family. The husband's away on business. I mean, it's always like the worst possible story. Always. Beautiful young girl.
Listen, beautiful lady, front page of the New York Post Daily News. You say the worst possible story. Some are saying that this could have been a
much
hell
worse.
of a lot worse.
Sure.
But it's
in her case. It's terrible.
Horrific. Yeah. Horrific. So anyway, so we had Noam Laden doing the news here. Noam Laden talking about Donald Trump, and he characterized what he was tweeting this morning as a tirade.
Tirade, right?
Now, I mean,
I agree.
But. Okay, you can agree, but
you disagree. That's
what CNN. They just put up a Twitter.
I don't care about CNN.
Wait, well, let me just finish.
They don't make up my mind.
They put up a Twitter rampage, but they're the news.
Okay.
Noam is the news.
Right.
You and I, you can say, but that's what the news does. The news, they say rampage, tirade, this, that, the other. So he sat there and he woke up. And maybe he had a cup of decaffeinated tea.
Sure.
And he tweeted out a couple of things.
Okay.
I mean, how does it turn into we want to feed the narrative that he's half off the hook, that he's half nuts.
I'm not saying that. Well, I think he is. I think he's got a bad temper, but so do I. But I just think the way, for this, after the week this guy has had, watching what was a lead in some of these big states evaporate, that 4 days later, he's going to, because CNN or one of these who we all know is biased, is busting his chops over this chick that at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, this is what he's worried about. It does look, and his own guy said it. Newt Gingrich said it.
Just point out that they continue to cite what she said, do these news organizations, but let's not forget that she lied. She said that what he did to her forced her to become bulimic and anorexic. I know that, but who cares? Who cares that Hillary Clinton's source is a liar, maybe an accomplice to murder?
We know that.
All right, but no, we don't know that.
Yes, they did report that on CNN. I've seen it over the last 3 days. I've seen it.
Yeah, she was involved in something.
That's fine.
So now Donald Trump is back. Donald Trump tweeted this, and he said this in 1997. It was like an aside.
He looks like a child. Every now and then, you can't fight every little thing.
He lost the debate, and he's frustrated.
And he's losing states.
And now the media's piling on, and he seems a little frustrated, frankly. At
unhinged.
His rallies. I would not say unhinged. He's going to come back strong in the next debate.
We'll see.
And she's cocky. Remember, she was cocky, too, before before she dropped in the polls in August.
I agree.
And we still have, 40 days left?
Yeah, you can still win. Okay, I'm not saying you can't win. It's still close.
Yeah, I say he should go home, take a day off, have a good night's sleep.
Take a deep breath. Don't tweet. Don't watch CNN. Don't worry about it.
Sleep with your hot wife.
A lot of us, that's great advice. A lot of us are counting on you, Mr. Trump. I know you listen. I know your kids listen.
You know what the problem is? I know you don't want to hear this. His team sucks. Kellyanne Conway sucks. Well, Megyn Kelly ate her ass for lunch a couple nights ago. She ate her for lunch. And Bannon's a joke.
Stop. Kellyanne Conway orchestrated his ascendancy in the polls
she did.
until he blew it in the last
She
debate.
did nothing. Hillary Clinton had the worst 2 weeks of her life, which allowed Donald Trump to improve in the polls. You're not going? I know you're a smart guy. You're not going to compare Kellyanne Conway to Begala or Carville or the machine that she's got, are you?
All I know is that when she joined she took over the campaign, and he went from he doesn't have a chance to dead heat. That's what she did. And that's what she did, or that's what happened. That's what she did with the campaign. That's where she took him. When she took over, he was out of the race. It was done. It was over. And then just before the debate, it was a dead heat, or he was winning even in some of these swing states, as has been pointed out.
Did you hear Megan spank her last night?
Who cares about that?
Who cares about? I want to hear that.
All right, play the tape.
Yeah, thank you.
Millions of dollars in negative ads against me.
Kellyanne.
And he has a point.
Come on. It's not nice.
Oh,
they are running for president. Of course she's going to hit him with negative ads.
But the ads should be true.
He's out there on the
should be true.
The ads that she's running about him when it comes to his comments on women use his words, Kellyanne. Use his words.
No, but her ads... Okay, but Megan, why is she spending all this money and not talking about her vision for post-Obamacare?
Because there's two facets of a campaign. You know that better than anybody. You hit your opponent and try to disqualify him or her, and then you sell your own vision. I mean, she's allowed to hit him with negative ads, and he should be hitting her right back, should he not? There goes my bracelet.
All right, there you go.
Hardly an ass kick. But I tell you what, in that same show last night, Megyn Kelly, she played a clip from... Well, not something that Donald Trump said, but it's something that Bill Clinton did to a woman. He had an affair with this woman, lied about it, and then under oath he was forced to admit that he had an affair with her. But she said that Megyn Kelly, the clip we just played, she played this clip last night on her show. Take a listen.
I personally feel that if I had not become public when I did, even though I had not planned it, that I wouldn't be sitting here talking with you now. I think something would have happened to me. I think most of the women that have been involved with Bill Clinton have told of situations where they were threatened.
And Hillary Clinton was one of them who did some of the threatening. But you don't hear much about that stuff. I wonder why. 1-800-848-9222. Bernie and Sid back after this.
77 W.
Want to wish my brother out there a happy New Year, a happy Rosh Hashanah. See you Tuesday, Bernard. I love you.
Yeah, great week. Love you too, Sid. Curtis and Kubi up next.